Okay, so Tim, can you explain to me what is a Wittenborg network?
Yeah, the Wittenborg network is it is the commercial arm of the Wittenborg. So what we mean by the commercial arm, if you like, is the capitalistic side of the university. The part of the university that's job is running businesses, and those businesses are run for the purpose of making money. Yeah? The way I've tried to explain it is to split it into three different areas. Yeah? We'll begin with the brands. Yeah? We've got brands, we've got research and development, and we've got the university itself. Yeah? The university means the students. The Wittenborg network, as a commercial body, is still owned by the university, and it has a very expressed obligation to the university. I think we've actually written this down somewhere, what this obligation is. It says that at all times, in all activities, the Wittenborg network will make sure that its brands and its research and development projects use the resources available from the student body and also add value to the students' knowledge.
So there is a direct link between the university and the commercial body?
Whenever possible, yes. Certainly there are going to be some brands and some projects which have to run because they have to run. You know, we have timelines given to us by clients, we have expectations of satisfaction which have to be achieved. But in every possibility, we will be funneling a lot of the knowledge that's generated back into the university. And in a minute, I'll give you a couple of examples of how that works.
Okay, that'd be great.
So we have a number of brands. Where do these brands come from? These brands come from our consulting business, our training business, and within the ownership structure of the Wittenborg, there are a number of project ideas and a number of brands and product areas which are already established and earning money and paying salaries.
Right.
So the brands, I think at the last count we have something like 6 or 7 specific brands. Some of them are mature, some of them are not mature, they are entrepreneurial ideas within themselves. And these brands will now fall under the Wittenborg net as an umbrella.
Yeah, okay, so some of the brands are still under the development in that sense.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But if I show you an example now of one of the brands, yeah? This brand is called Pipeliner, or Pipeliner Sales. And Pipeliner Sales is a sales methodology. It is a sales training program, especially for the IT industry. And it is a fully established product range with trainers and resources and materials and software and methodology and customers, which has existed for 10 years.
Okay. So very much a matured brand itself.
That's right.
Yeah.
What we've said is that here are our students in the university. We want our students to learn about sales. What he didn't say was that at any stage within the university's learning process, sales is not one of the modules. But how many universities do you know where sales is a module?
The definition of sales is the question, really. In different universities, in different business degree programs, they cover certain sales aspects. But what you hear in terms of pipeline sales management, that is a different concept. It's totally geared up in sales reps training rather than only the theoretical management of a sales process.
And that's exactly what Pipeliner is. It's a sales program for salespeople, for sales managers, for project managers. It looks at the skills, it looks at the process, and it looks at all of the things around the sales topic. So what we want our students to go away with this knowledge. Yeah.
Yes.
So one of the ideas from the brand is that we will give this brand and give the knowledge behind this brand to all of the students. And we will make the knowledge accessible to them, and we will tell them in bringing new students into the university that we expect them to get engaged in understanding the methodologies that are here. Yeah?
Right, yeah.
It is not prescriptive. We don't force anything. But we say we do have an expectation. We expect you as a student to leave the Wittenborg with a high level of knowledge about sales.
Yes.
Yeah? And we use this structure and this methodology to be the platform for your thinking process in that direction. Yeah?
Understand. Right.
We also take this one step further. Yeah? Our students also have a work placement within their university career.
Yes, that's one of the biggest modules.
Okay, and this module is between 3 and 6 months long, and they go away and work at a particular company. We will give every student a worksheet, and this student will be the sales process or the pipeliner worksheet. And we will ask every student to go to their work placement, and while they are there, to look at how that company does its business and to answer a couple of research questions. How does the company sell? Yeah.
Right.
So based on our methodology, we'll start looking at where are the areas that companies find it difficult to sell. This is very important. This is a generic sales process. Our students will be working in real-world environments.
Yeah, of course.
It's very important for them to make sure that this is not just a theory, that they can also relate the theory to the practical working environment. And so this worksheet will come back to us, and it will take part in one of our research and development projects, which will be a long-term project around the area of sales and area enablement in a number of different areas. We have another brand which is called the Leadership Development Center approach. During the course of their studies, the university students will all become aware of this methodology. We have a couple of trainers who will lead them through seminars explaining what it is. At the end of their studies, they will leave the university having gone through a development centre or two for themselves, having really understood what it is and what the value of it is to the organisation. And they will leave the university with the knowledge of how to implement one in their new company when they arrive there, whether it's next year or in 20 years' time, regardless.
But this is a focus on leadership.
That's right.
Right.
This is a focus on leadership, and it is a focus on the future of people development within organizations.
Right, yeah.
Currently, companies pay for seminars. These days are coming to an end. Maybe it's in 5 years in one industry. In 10 years, it'll be, companies will not pay for their people to go on seminars. They will expect their people to already have the knowledge, and they will bring people together in the form of development centres to assess that knowledge and then to give them development advice on the back of it.
Right.
So what we're doing here is we're showing people effectively what will be the cutting edge of training and development for the next 20 years. Smart companies are already doing it. Smarter companies are looking at ways that they can use the methodology and the approach to replace their existing skills training methodologies and do it themselves internally. Okay. It's a very, very, very fascinating part itself. So our students will do it, they will go away with it, they will also look at their work placement through the eyes of the development center approach. They will ask their companies a very generic question: how do you develop your future potential?
Right. Yeah.
And then these answers will also come back into the Wittenborg in the search of a research and development project, which will, over a lot of time, give us a great advantage over our competitors when it comes to probably the two most important topics on the list of a manager.
Okay, so I see this as a Wittenborg network, as commercial body of Wittenborg. Developing more brands will be also one of these future strategies, I suppose.
Yes. But brand development will be very much based on a live or die position. As we move forward with the brand strategy, we will allow other brands to come in, we will give them a certain amount of attention, and then we will assess whether they remain or they go. And we will start developing qualification criteria for deciding whether a Wittenborg Net brand remains a Wittenborg Net brand, and whether we decide to invest in it, yeah, with our resource capability from that. And the same goes for projects, yeah. Projects are also something that we will go out to companies, inviting them to take part in. We will look for people with good project ideas, then we will address companies that might be interested in seeing the results from them. But the research and development ethos is that we develop R&D projects on the needs of industry and companies, and if those needs are there, then we invest in them. If they're not, then we're not.
Of course. Yeah. So from all of these results, one can also see whether there is be a double assessment, really.
Yes.
These will be the feedback from the industry. Mm-hmm. So you can actually make a further decision. So it could be more of this type of research feedbacks from the industry provided by our students in the long run.
I think what's important about not just the Wittenborg network, but the Wittenborg philosophy on the whole, is that a lot of business schools claim that they have a very close link to the business environment and the reality of the business world. We don't only want to claim that we have the link, we want to demonstrate the link and actually be the link. Yeah? We want to be able to demonstrate it from our own real-life experience. We want to be able to go and position ourselves against other players on the market in different areas, and live or die by market standards. Yeah, so we want this level of realism to be present from the moment the student walks through the door to the moment they leave 3 or 4 years later with their qualification. We want them to be saying, yes, this is real.